So as some of you might be aware, I've been using the Panasonic S9, this, for the last several weeks, and I haven't been entirely happy with the lens choices of this here. And I wanted a pancake lens and found this Nikon 26mm online, and obviously I can't use this for the Panasonic system, so I kind of got into the Nikon system for the first time. The first thing that I noticed when I opened up the box was the fact that this looks really nice. I mean, I've been using Fuji X-T5 and just the whole XT series, and looks very similar, but just the overall build quality is way nicer on this one. But here's the thing though, all that solid build quality comes at a price. This camera is heavy, like really heavy. We're talking about 710 grams, which is about 25 ounces. That's around 30% heavier than most cameras in its class. And trust me, you'll notice it. And you would think that they would put a big grip here to help with all that weight. But then, you know, let's be real. You can't exactly slap a big chunky grip on a retro style body. So I would say it's quite understandable. And when it comes to dials, I mean, I have experiences with Fujifilm XT series that have these dials, and I don't get me wrong, I love my Fuji cameras. In fact, I'm shooting this video with XH2S right now, but when it comes to the build quality, just overall, and the build quality of some of these dials, I would say the Zf feels like a step above. And the way it sounds as well, it's got a really nice click to them. Now the screen, I mean, it's one of the best screens I've ever used. For one thing, it's way brighter than the Sony A7C II screen, and I would say it's pretty much on par with the Lumix S9 in terms of brightness. Well, whereas the Lumix S9 screen seemed really sluggish at times, the Zf screen is bright and very responsive. Everything moves fast without delay. So now let me move on to the lenses. I got a couple of lenses here. First thing here, the second lens. So the first is the Nikon 40mm f2 special edition, which you can buy as a kit lens. It's not a pancake lens by any means, as you can see here. It's definitely bigger than the other one. But it's bright enough at f2 to be considered the perfect pairing for this compact camera. So as a size reference, let me line up a few lenses that share the similar size. So here's the Nikon 40mm f2. Here's the Sigma 40mm 2.8. which I use for the Panasonic S9. And here is a crop lens. Actually, here's the Fuji 35mm f1.4, which is about 50mm f2.1 in full frame equivalents. They're all about the same. So I wouldn't say this is smaller than any other lens, because it's not. So it's about the average in terms of when you compare it to other prime lenses. It's a pretty good fit. It's got a good balance. Not that heavy because everything is made of plastic. The details here look like it's supposed to be aperturing, as you see here, but it's not. It's just fake. But mechanically though, it's good. It focuses pretty quick. Let me focus it. The focus is quick and pretty quiet. Like, I don't hear anything. I'm just disappointed that it's called special edition and that's supposed to be retro inspired, but it's missing an aperture ring and has a fake one instead. I'm gonna do a more detailed review of these two lenses later on, but in my testing, it's pretty soft lens, especially wide open. whereas this wide open is quite sharp. So let me move on to this lens now. As you can see, it's super compact and fairly bright at f2.8. The body is also made of metal alloy, which feels quite a lot better than that one. And as you can see, like if I just do it like that here, you can see about half the size. But weighs pretty similar because the construction of this lens is actually heavier. I mean, the ZF is pretty big and heavy when compared to all the other retro bodies, but this lens really does a good job of keeping the size to a reasonable level. However, though, there are a couple of peculiar things about this lens that you should be aware of. First, the filter thread only exists on the lens hood. So here you can see if I remove the lens hood, there's nothing here to mount the, there's no filter thread. So you have to use the lens hood to use this filter. Another thing is because the front lens element moves in and out. Let me just demonstrate it for you. See? Because of that, it makes a lot of noise. So now let me move on to just quickly comparing it to a couple of other cameras. So here are a couple of other cameras that I have. Panasonic Lumix S9 and A7C Mark II. As you can already see, the ZF is quite larger than the other two. You can feel it as well, like when you hold it, this feels quite a bit heavier. In terms of handling, obviously this is the best because of the chunky grip. And this, even though it's lacking grip here, I feel that it's more balanced because the body itself is larger and any lens you put on tend to be smaller and gets matched up quite better. And this to me is the worst. But I'll do look and feel comparison of all three cameras later on, so look out for that. So I'm using a golden shutter button that looks pretty nice with the BW UV filter, and the first thing I added was this, and also a Smallrig Grip. This one, because this grip extends out a little bit, it doesn't feel as great as all the other Smallrig grips that I've used. So I wasn't entirely happy with this either. Look wise, it's okay. So instead I got this leather case. I actually like this better, even though in terms of the grip, it doesn't give you something more to grab onto, but just overall feel wise, it's better. And also here as well, it gives you like a little bit of a stop right there. So I actually like this grip better. It came with, I think it's called the TP original case. There you go. So yeah, I think it works out quite well. But I usually use my other Peak Design strap though. So let me just put on the Peak Design strap. To be honest though, I think I like the leather strap, the black leather strap design. There you go. Now another accessory that's a must is mics. Sennheiser MKE 400 that I use all the time outside. I think it would look okay, but on like these retro style cameras, they don't seem to look all that great. But let's see. Yeah, it looks okay. Looks okay. Looks kind of funny, but what can you do? On retro style bodies, nothing really looks great if they stick out. So yeah, but it's not like I'm buying this camera to shoot videos a lot, so seems okay. Well, the next thing I would try is the DJI Mic 2. So let me put on the receiver. I think this is gonna look kind of funny. Yeah, it does look kind of funny. This almost looks like the alien from the movie E.T. Alright, well, not bad, but it does look funny though. And it could get in the way of using this dial. But otherwise, yeah, it's alright. So that was the first impressions of the Nikon Zf, more look and feel of it. In the near future, I'm gonna be releasing a video of the comparison between the Nikon Zf and A7C II, as well as here Panasonic Lumix S9. So if you're looking forward to that, please like this video and subscribe. And I'll see you later. Bye bye.